So you choosing to reference the movie Serendipity. At first, I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck? That is crazy." Because at that time, I knew about the whole separation and then reintroduction of the twin flames, but I wasn't aware that you were aware of that. All right. So, but now knowing that you were aware of that and you chose that movie specifically because of that, I don't know. It's got me kind of fucked up. I mean, you didn't try to hide it or anything, so that's awesome, for real. But it just kind of felt like that you're just trying to say anything that you can that will make me choose to not stick around, since you have a hard time saying no. So that makes me feel like that you can't tell me to go away because you know how I already feel about you. I'm not someone who takes love lightly. I'm not someone who takes a person's feelings for granted. I'm not someone who jumps off into the deep end. Hardly ever, if ever. I'm calculated. I'm direct. Well, sometimes indirect whenever I'm trying to strategically discover someone's inner desires or their intentions. I guess you could say that is manipulation, but not in the way that everybody views the word manipulation or the act of manipulation. Because I don't do it for evil intent. I don't do it for selfish gains. I mean, actually, I guess you could say they're selfish, but again, they're not evil. They're for my own protection. And I don't do anything dirty. I just simply ask questions and engage the responses. I'm not sure if you truly mean what you said when you said that you hate to read, but you have no idea how accurately that hit me. When it comes to books and stuff, I absolutely hate fucking reading. I always have. I don't know why. I just did not like reading. I just did not enjoy it. It was not something fun to me. I would much rather be physically active doing something. And that mindset has followed me my entire life. Now, today, if it's something that's important to me, and it's a news article or something, some information about something, I will read and read and read and read. I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe watching a lot of Japanese anime helped with that. Because I've watched a lot of Japanese anime that was in Japanese, so it had English subtitles. And when I say a lot, I'm talking maybe not quite a year straight when I in references of not time nonstop, but close to a damn year's worth over the past decade. Learned lots and lots and lots of things about the human psyche watching anime. I truly see myself as a wise man. And I believe that you are a wise woman. And on top of that, we are both very intelligent. We can play dumb for strategic purposes, and we can do it just to have fun and not give a damn what anybody thinks. But at the same time, you and I both, we care a lot about what people think about us in certain aspects of our life. Even though we'll say that we don't really care, really we do. And you know it. You know that's true. You know, I've only been in love, like actual, truly unconditional, would die for the person I love, twice in my life. I've told many girls that I love them. Back whenever I was a dumb kid who only was out for my own self. But the first one I fell in love with, she was the black sheep of everybody. The tortured soul that captivated but anyways, she was the first. Whenever I finally got to the point where it was not going to work for us, and it just kept breaking my heart more and more, where I allowed it to break my heart more and more. I just shut everyone that had to do with that time period of my life. Anybody that was associated with her and me, I cut all of them out of my life and disappeared. I then started spending more time with people that were older than me. It was my brother and his best friends, who were all very, very intelligent people and fucking a great time to hang out with. And I really hope you get to meet them someday, because you will have a wonderful fucking time. And it will be nothing like anybody you've ever hung out with around this town. My brothers from where I come from, you have not met anybody like us. First and foremost, the best way to describe us would be nerds. But I describe myself more like a nerd, a jock, a prep, a hippie. I mean, I'm a little bit of all adjectives. And I wear each of them proudly because I love who I am. I truly do love who I am. But back to the loves, all right? So it got to the point where my heart was just so torn and twisted that I just cut all of them out of my life. Started hanging out with my brother and his friends. And I also stopped getting in relationships. I mean, I completely cut my heart out of everything that had to do with relationships. So I was it's either 19 or 20 whenever this happened. I might have been 21. No, I wasn't 21 yet. I think I was 20. But over that next year, me and my brother grew closer. Which this was the first time that me and my brother had ever really experienced an actual friendship between one another. Because growing up, our age difference, there was too much of a gap for us to be that type of relationship then, because I was still at that immature stage that was not fun or cute to them. And I was also a bit of a fucking narc. I will admit it. I was a tattletale. But only whenever you fucking hurt me. And it didn't matter if I was at fault for it or if you were at fault for what caused me to be hurt. But if you fucking hurt me, I'm gonna fucking throw you under the bus. And that was because I didn't know any better. I grew up with a single mom who was awesome. And I've mistreated her many times in my life, and she didn't deserve it. She has been through a lot. And I honestly don't know if I can even handle the day that she dies. If I'm alone and I don't have anyone in my life, I will most certainly kill myself that day. If I do not have someone that can comfort me. And I'm not talking about my family. I'm talking about my wife. But so she was my first love, broke my heart. 20 years old. Over the course of the next couple of years, I know of one chick for sure that I slept with one chick over the course of that next year. Had no intentions whatsoever of being in any kind of relationship with her. But slept with her once. And I was inexperienced. At that time, it was a race to me. See who gets there first. I always won. I didn't know any better. I wasn't taught to know better. I wasn't taught anything about women, matters of the heart, and fair, and anything about relationships when I was growing up. Everything that I know about them now, I had to learn for myself. Had no guidance. Now, had I reached out to my dad, I know that he would have gave me the guidance. But I'm honestly glad that I didn't. Because my dad, he's a player. He loves women. I love women. And it's kind of crazy how who I was in high school with women is very similar to the way he was, even though I had hardly any, well, I had no information about his capabilities of being with another woman and all this other stuff having to do with him and relationships. But it's odd how so much similar my treatment of women was compared to his, even without the witnessing it myself in front of him. It's almost like it was an instinctual thing. But yes, everything I learned, I had to fucking learn by trial and error, I guess you could say. I went on feelings. I went on chemical reactions. And like everybody in this life, you mistake lust for love so much, so often. People mistake lust for love. So that first year I slept with one girl. Shortly after that, tried dating another one. And by this time, I'd already started to kind of transition into, or start the transformation into a respectful, considerate, and their needs before mine type of person. And I dated this girl we dated for a week before I even tried to kiss her. But unfortunately, that same night I also tried something else. She didn't say no, but I felt that she wasn't into it, so I stopped. Shortly after that, she got back with her boyfriend that they'd been on again, off again, on again, off again for a while. I was like, hey, whatever. Maybe I was just put there to, I didn't think this then. I'm thinking this right now. Or maybe I was just put there to lead her back to him. But on that note, here lately I have started seriously thinking about that movie Good Luck Chuck. How every single girl that Chuck dated, they broke up, her next boyfriend would be her husband. Every single one of them. But anyways, so I dated that girl for a few weeks. She went back to him. Yeah, I was hurt, angry. I tried not to show it. I tried to ignore it. Went back to work. And the next girl that I got her number was a customer of mine at this restaurant I was working at, serving tables, or waiting tables. Fine young lady, cheerleader. There was no surprise there for me because I was rather attracted to cheerleaders. Not because they were a cheerleader, but mostly because most cheerleaders are hot. I was shallow. I was after the looks, plain and simple. And what comes with the looks. Anyways, this group of cheerleaders from the local college came in and I waited their table. And the whole time, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to ask for her number. And at this point in my life, I was not, if I had my guy friends around me and we were all cutting up, confidence galore. You could not touch me. I was the motherfucker. I was that motherfucker. Nobody had anything on me. I was the best motherfucker in that room, best looking motherfucker, best at everything. But for some reason, when it came to first meetings with women, if I didn't have anybody I knew around, it's very hard for me to even open my mouth, because all I sit there and do is think about what's the right thing to say. Man, I want it to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. But anyways, I finally get up the courage to ask this chick for a number, and she doesn't even hesitate and was like, yeah, awesome. Well, celebrated with a few buddies of mine at work, saying, hell yeah, I got her number. What you think? Well, I never even called her. Not once. Not even, I don't even think I dialed her number on my phone. I mean, I dialed it in there to save it, yes. But never once tried to. And after her, there was one more chick that I slept with. She was kind of like the female dude of the group. And I feel like I really feel really bad about the situation with her. She says she has no hard feelings about it, and I think she means that, because we're still cool and shit, and several years later we slept together again, but that's different time, different story. Because we hooked up, and I didn't make it clear, but I was only after the sex, and she was not of the same mind I was. She thought it was we were going towards relationship status. And I don't know. I was kind of a dick about it. I'm sure I was, because that's just who I was at the time. You need to know that everything I'm describing, from the time I was 20 to these few women in attempted relationships, all happened within about a 2-year span. So from 20 to 22. All right. After her, I stopped trying with relationships, period. I retreated into my subconscious. No, that's not accurate. I retreated into my addictions to numb the fact that I just kept not being able to find someone that's. Whenever I found someone that I wanted to try a relationship with, they did not want to try with me, so it never worked. And then whenever I found someone that I didn't want a relationship just wanted to have fun, vice versa. I didn't want it to work, or whatever, and would just keep it casual. But after that chick, I went 7 or 8 years with no relationship of any kind, whether it be sex, monogamy, whatever. Didn't even try with any. No, didn't even try. I just stayed to myself, did what I could to find things to be happy, worked very little, relied too heavily on my mom and stepdad. But I mean, it's not like I didn't do anything. I cut the grass. I did the house nigga stuff. And every now and then, a buddy of mine that owned a lawn service, I'd go work for him whenever I needed extra money or wanted extra money. But I did not even attempt any relationships whatsoever. I was tired of failing. And over the course of that 7 to 8 years, I spent a lot of time watching movies, TV, and anime. And during those years, I was not aware that this was going on. But now that I look back at it, but knowing now, I mean, I know this. I knew this a couple years ago whenever I thought about it. But looking back at over all that, I learned a lot about people, their wants, basically the human psyche. And a lot of the stuff that I understand about people, about the human brain, is stuff that's, to me, because of everything I've experienced, comes so easy. I see it so easily, and it's, what am I trying to say? We'll come back to that. But over the course of those years, watching all this pop culture, I started to develop what my idea was of the perfect relationship. And I developed it from watching the pop culture, yes, but also watching people around me and seeing their relationships, how they communicated, how they responded to things that the other one says or does, and listen to each side of those stories to see, to hear how they view it, how each one viewed the situation. And everybody's selfish. Everybody is. They refuse to see it through the other person's eyes. They'll say that they are, but they're really not. Because in their mind, they can't withdraw their view of the situation from it. They can't just cut that out and pretend it's not there and then view the other person's. No, they have to have their view coupled with how they see the other person's. And by doing that, they're always going to choose their own view as being more significant, or it's more important, or it matters more. It's also that during that time, that's when I learned that the little things mean the most. Because when you're both gray and old, the little things become the big things. I love doing the little things. I love having the little things done for me. And I hate that being in a situation where you have to bring it up, because then it spoils it, and it makes it feel disingenuous. It also makes the other one think that you only did the stuff because you were expecting something in return. No, that is not it. Whenever I do the stuff, my one and only thought is putting a smile on your fucking face. I mean, not fucking, that was like very knife in the fucking kidney, but putting a smile on your face, making you want to sing in the shower, making you want to just be everything that is positive and good. But then whenever something really small comes along that's is not only just not done, but even whenever you ask them to do it, they refuse to. And you point out, hey, it's a really small thing. No. Well, that's fucked up. And then you start thinking back about all the little things you've done, and you do the things without asking they like, and you do everything they do like when they ask it. And then that's when you bring it up, and they're like, "Oh, we keep a score." No. Are you?